Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to
Another episode of I Don't Want a Pilot.
It isn't. We've just recorded a podcast episode which you can find on Spotify.
In 2 years' time.
No. On the first Sunday of the month.
So we actually we have two different Spotify accounts. One of them's on like construction now.
Kings Napoleon and the Mangaloids.
Kings Napoleon's being
You
sued.
only need to know is the Mangaloids.
The Kings Napoleon's being sued.
Today we are going for a big time anime review and we're reviewing 5 big highly requested animes
Yeah, that's 5 more than usual.
and creating a tier list.
Yep.
Okay.
So we'll go from worst to best.
No, we'll just start on the top of the list and work our way down.
Okay.
So first we have One Piece.
Mid.
I was gonna say that, but I think we should explain why. It's too long.
It's too long. I don't think anyone has time for 1,000 episodes. If you can't concisely get your points across in 1,000 episodes, then you're clearly doing something wrong.
It's 1,000 episodes, and we still don't know what the One Piece is.
Yeah, the whole thing's just filler. It's just you're watching it. Why?
I saw a thing that made it slightly better called One Piece, and it's where they removed all the filler, and it went from what would be the equivalent of 1,000 episodes to like 600 episodes, and that's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's more episodes of filler than there are in like most TV shows.
I just think it's too. People say, "Oh, but the character development's great and all that."
Well, of course you're gonna after 1,000 episodes.
I'd expect it to be, and everyone's like, "Oh, Luffy's the best main character." I was like, he can't be. He's a stretchy boy. That's about it.
I've seen the first episode of the One Piece live action, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I swear he just eats a gumba gumba fruit or something like that, and
He
gets
eats
like
the yum-yum
stretchy.
fruit.
Yeah, and gets like
Or the yo-yo
stretchy.
fruit. I think it's the
Yeah,
yum-yum fruit.
yeah. It's too long, and the story can't be that good.
The story is like so good.
So what we rating it?
Also, the 4 kids dub didn't even finish dubbing it.
Yeah, that's true. Do we want to rate these out of 10, or should we just compare them against themselves?
No, wait, out of 10. I say a 4.
Yeah, I'd go 4.
Gun to my head, I'd say 4.
Yeah, One Piece gets a 4.
Yeah, it's a 4 out of 10. But I was like number 4 out of 10.
Yep. Next, Dragon Ball.
Oh no,
Now, Dragon Ball was actually like the first anime I watched.
that's pretty rough.
Yeah. Well, at the time I thought it was really good. It what got me into anime, and then I realised that obviously it is good to start with a not so good anime,
Yeah, exactly, because it lowers your expectations.
because
for the
then
future.
everything else is way better afterwards.
Yeah, GT is completely filler. Heroes is completely filler.
Oh god, don't even get me started.
In fact-
I bought GT on DVD because you couldn't find it anywhere, and I can see why they don't show it anywhere.
Also, Dragon Ball Z has so much filler they had to make an entirely new show called Kai just to make it like
I watched Kai, so it wasn't too bad. But if I'd watched Z, I don't think I would have made it through the whole thing.
Yeah, I only watched the first part of Kai, and then there was like a second.
In fact, if you want to watch Dragon Ball Z, I would actually recommend watching abridged instead of the original, because of how just it's abridged is so much. It actually makes light of how dumb the original is.
well, Bridge is good. Z's is kind of mid.
Yeah.
And Dragon Ball Super, the art style.
Oh god, yeah. Dragon Ball Super is better in terms of plot, I think. But it's just the whole thing. Dragon Ball's now just got this whole trope of Goku changes his hair color. He's got more
because
power.
It makes money.
Yeah, literally, he can just sell more action figures. It literally is. He gets a new hair color. He
Yeah.
becomes really, really strong. He
Yeah.
beats up the bad guy, but because he got a new form, and that's it. He wins.
Yeah, Goku Black is the only good part of like, the whole show.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's hard carry.
I've got his skin in Fortnite. He looks so
It
cool.
looks so dirty.
No, he looks so cool.
They couldn't get the Fortnite skin scrap.
What do you think of this color? Is it not beautiful?
He does not say that in Fortnite.
No, he doesn't.
I wish he did.
But have you seen the art style for the new superhero movie? It's even worse than Super. It's so bad. And Gohan, guess what he does to beat Cell? Cell's in it, by the way.
But is this the most beautiful that's come out?
The new movie, yeah.
That's already
so,
come out.
Yeah.
I haven't
so,
seen it yet.
So Gohan's losing. Guess what he does to win?
What?
He gets a new form. And then he wins.
This is Cell.
Yeah.
Why is Cell on it?
It's like the recreation of Cell from the Red. It's just so much like fan service. It's rammed down your throat.
Yeah, I know.
The Red Ribbon Army's back. They resurrect Cell.
Okay.
Piccolo gets a new form. Gohan gets a new form.
What's even the
And then they
point?
bully Krillin. The only good bit of that film is when Bulma goes, "I've brought the strongest Z fighters and Krillin." And I actually started laughing in the cinema. I thought that was the fact that they actually
think
acknowledged that
gets so much
Krillin's bad.
stick. I don't know how
Yeah.
he's so bad. He's been the whole way, and they've never once.
They still bring him in the Tournament of Power in Super. I'm like, why? He's literally the most. The Master Roshi's more useful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we give in Dragon Ball, I would put it higher than One Piece because there's not as much filler.
I'd say a 6.
Yeah, I'd give it a 6. That's fair.
Yeah, it's definitely better than One Piece. I kind of find it hard to find anything worse than One Piece.
Death Note.
Oh no.
Now, Death Note used to be one of my favourite animes when I watched
yeah,
it, but
no.
most anime, when you watch it, it's just really hype.
He says with the Death Note.
Yeah, that's why. But I feel like they're really hype when you finish watching them, and then after you have time to like soak it in and see other ones.
Yeah, I know.
To be fair, it did get better in the second half.
Oh no, the second half was actually the best part of the anime.
Once Nier was introduced,
Yeah.
the anime got it went up to another level.
I feel like Al was just kind of like a boring character.
I think L just like pulled too much stuff out of his arse.
Yeah,
like, Nier actually gave like logical conclusions to things.
I mean, there's that one scene where like Mia looked at the TV screen and then knew that Mikami was Kira, but we didn't have to explain it because we can see it, his thought process from,
Just
the
from
way
his
he
eyes,
acts.
the way he
from the way he acts.
When he's playing with the toys and he just looks up and just says it, yeah. So
Yeah,
I think that's better than L because L is just. I think they went too much in the fact that he's weird and he sits in his goofy pose and eats strawberries and
it's
stuff.
really uncomfortable watching it out.
Yeah, because he acts like a man-child, whereas Nier actually is a child, which is more impressive that he is able to figure out who Kira is before L does.
So I feel like Light had too much character development in the first half, whereas in like the second half, we didn't have as much. They
just made him evil.
Yeah, we didn't give him time to grow. Whereas in like the second half, he actually had like more of a personality. I think.
Yeah. Ryuk definitely hard carried though.
I know Ryuk did, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only reason why it's not like a tool.
I think so. Yeah, I have a poster with of Ryuk in my room. I've got the statue of Ryuk up there. That's how much I love Ryuk. He's up there.
But I actually think Ban's better than Ryuk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can see
Ban's
that.
better than Ryuk, you know.
Because there is that cool scene when Rem basically, I don't want to say anything, so I'm going to be a spoiler. But Rem,
that is a cool scene.
that is a good scene because it shows more character development than Ryuk did.
If he doesn't have a character,
Ryuk just sits there and eats apples.
he just has spoiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, who is it that voices Ryuk in the Netflix one?
It's the Green Goblin.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
I actually generally think that the Netflix movie improved upon the flaws of the TV show.
Actually, now that you mention it, that is a good point. I think because a lot of people don't like anime and stuff like that. The fact that they modernized it and westernized the anime, I think it makes it a lot more accessible for English and American viewers. I think it puts it into a lot more perspective. Because they change like job titles and stuff to be more to be more Western, so it makes more sense if you watch it. If you've never seen anime before, because obviously it's got a lot of Japanese culture in the anime. I think if you watch it from the UK or whatever, watching the Netflix one, it feels more real to you because it's more based around how your life is.
Also, in the Netflix one, the reason why they think he's called Kira is because Light Turner wanted to make the FBI think that he lived in Japan, and that's like a more logical reason as to why they called him Kira in the anime. I thought that's kind of pulled out of nowhere, but in the movie it makes sense.
Yeah,
They put a reason to it.
That is good. So, what would you rate Death Note then? I think the Netflix version does bring it up.
I think we rate the TV series about a 5, but the movie's more like a 9.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll put 5 for the series.
We did say only 5 anime, but I think it's bad enough to like.
We can, because they are completely different. You can't.
One's much better than the other.
Now I didn't want to do this because it's a bit more of an obscure one, but it's one that I've got a lot of figures for. That I don't really like them being up there anymore.
Yeah, I always wondered why.
It's because I went through a phase. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures.
Yeah. The best part's part 1. It's all downhill from there.
Yeah, I like part 1 because it's got it. Like I say, it's a bit more realistic, and then I think it gets it's bizarre enough. After that, I think it gets a bit too bizarre. The second part is again, it's not as good as the first part.
Oh yeah,
but then they start introducing
Joseph is so much worse. I like how they kept Joseph in for 3 parts. I thought that was you kind of overstayed his welcome.
Yeah, and when they brought out the stands and stuff like that, I thought it was a bit too ridiculous and got a bit stupid.
You could tell that Araki ran out of ideas because he just stuck with the stands for like a whole 4 parts.
Exactly. Yeah. Part 5 is definitely the worst though.
Oh, by a landslide. Although I did like the ending of part 6. I thought it was like the only way you could have ended the show. There was no way you could have ended it.
Yeah, it was a good like amalgamation of everything towards the end. I think it summed it up really good.
Yeah, and I'm quite scared to watch Steel Ballroom because it just doesn't sound like entertaining.
No, I've heard loads of people have said it's good, but then when I've heard like explanations of it and stuff, I'm like, oh, it can't be that good. It's just the diehard fans who've
Yeah.
read the manga who've said, yeah, it's peak fiction.
Yeah.
But is it the highest rated manga on Mal?
Second highest.
Second? Why? What's overtaken it?
No, it was always the second. Berserk was higher.
Oh right, yeah. Second
I think it's a
highest,
more well-deserving anime. Is Berserk.
but probably yeah.
Probably.
Isn't like JoJo's based off Berserk or something like that?
Maybe.
Yeah,
It's not
I know it's
fault.
based off like Fist and North Star and stuff like that.
I
but-
think Berserk 2016, like the 3D
Yeah, yeah.
CGI one, I think that's better than JoJo.
Yeah, probably. But like the first part, so part one, as you said, that's better 'cause it's got like vampires in it. It's based in like rural Victorian England, which is like my go-to
Yeah.
time period. So for me, that is peak fiction. I thought that was really good, so I went into it with high hopes for JoJo, and then I watched the rest of it, and I think part one carried weirdly, but I got into it when I was watching it.
You just can't find a Jonathan statue, can you? It's just-
No, I can't. It is really annoying. I've got Joseph because he was the first one I bought because it wasn't too bad, and then Dio because he was in part one, and then the Jotaro
Yeah, but
one
it's
was
just hard
going
to find.
cheap.
It's hard to find. I think doing part 3 kind of like half of it. It wasn't that
But it's because
engaging.
he gave him a stand and he relied too much on his stand or on his
Yeah.
vampire abilities, which is what I was hoping for.
Yeah,
I only
missed
carried on
that.
watching it to get to Dio, and then I realised he was in part 6, and
So
so,
you
I
have to
watched
watch,
everything. I
yeah.
know his son was in part 5, so I wanted to see what that was about, and it was rubbish. And then part 6, I knew Dio made an appearance, so I wanted to watch
I
that
think
again.
in part 6 when he's the bone, I thought the bone was better than part 3, but it's just like it wasn't.
It was actually more entertaining to see him as the
As a
bone.
bone,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and the green baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it didn't really rely on it. It had a cooler stand, but it didn't rely too much on its stand.
I think the best villain is probably Diavolo. I think he's better than Yoshikar Kira and Dio. And
Yeah,
Pucci.
because I think
Because he had more character
they
development.
added more mystery to him as well. So you obviously don't get the reveal for so long, and then
You get like right at the end, and it's just like, oh, that's kind of cool.
yeah, and then he's then ever a couple of episodes before the finale. So I think that was actually quite good because it was different to all the other parts. But
Yeah.
part one's definitely my favourite for that one.
Yeah.
If we could rate part 1 and part 2, I would give part 1 and part 2 a 9, as it is on my Mal, because I really like part
But the
1.
rest of the show is like, I say it's
It
like
pulls it down.
a One Piece level.
I think it's better than One
But, like,
Piece. I don't know if is it as good as Dragon Ball.
No, I say a good 5.
I'll give it a 5. Same
Yeah.
as Death Note.
Yeah.
Right. Then we've got. I know this one I actually did quite a lot because it was different from everything I'd watched. Yuri on Ice.
Oh, that's a 10.
Yeah. Just 10. No, I actually did really like Yuri on Ice.
Edit it out.
Nope. I actually genuinely, anyone will know that has seen me perform at any of the Anime League events. When people say, "What is my favorite sports anime?" It is Yuri on Ice. One of our videos is Yuri on Ice is not gay, and in that video,
But that's not best video because it was the one we were most compassionate about.
exactly.
It, because it was
If you
just,
watch that video, I repeat multiple times, Yuri on Ice is hands down the greatest sports anime I've ever seen in my life.
yeah, and quite a lot of times when we go to like the not concerts, the performances, if one of us gets like a fourth where we have to sing, I'd always sing the OP to
Yuri on Ice.
History Maker because
History Maker is such a good OP.
It just really carries the show.
I actually think it's one of my favourite OPs, if not my favourite OP from any anime ever.
Yeah. I think Yuri is. I think I prefer Yuri to Yuri personally. Which do you prefer Yuri to Yuri? Do you prefer Yuri to Yuri?
I actually believe it, I prefer Yuri to Yuri.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Oh, how can you prefer Yuri to Yuri?
because I feel like Yuri starts off with more of a higher point than Yuri, and so then Yuri going from a lower point to a higher point is quite compelling. And it's quite a powerful statement, actually. And so the rivalry between Yuri going from high to a low and Yuri going from a low to a high is just, I think it's really interesting to see them both meet in the middle. And the Yuri versus Yuri competition, when Yuri wins, I think
Yeah,
is...
I actually thought it was really weird how Yuri beat Yuri because I thought Yuri was going to beat Yuri, but the fact that Yuri beat Yuri made me feel like, the writers actually like they cared about the character there. And if it had like a second season, we could have seen Yuri beat Yuri instead of Yuri beating Yuri, but Yuri beating
yeah.
Yuri, really like cemented the show as like quite well. I wasn't expecting that.
I was going to say that. I think it finished on a really good point. It wasn't just like a normal sports anime where it's just like all this random stuff and then an anticlimactic finale.
Yeah.
The finale actually was powerful. There was passion there, and I think it made a really, really, really big impact on everyone. It made an impact on me. I know that's for certain.
The only issue with the show is that I wish there was more. I wish it was like 1,000 episodes so I could just keep watching it because I feel like that would give it.
I'm actually really upset that they cancelled the movie for it.
They cancelled the movie.
Yeah, the movie that was supposed to come out for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still waiting for it to come out, so I assume it's been cancelled or something.
Yeah.
But I really wanted more of it. I think I first noticed it was getting good. The hot spring bit right at the start.
Oh yeah, and then it's naked.
Yeah, that bit right at the start. That's the turning point for me. For the anime, not me personally.
Yeah, then you were turn point for Yuri.
Yeah.
So like I said, I think we get that one on 10.
That one's a 10. Yeah.
Do you want to read through the scores again?
So we've got one more anime to discuss.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we're 16 minutes in.
Oh, I know what this one is.
Demon Slayer.
Oh, it's a 3.
I actually do think it's really boring.
It's really nothing. It's so long, nothing happens, and people only watch it for the art style. The art style is pretty cool. I don't think it's their best book. I feel like Fate Zero is better artistically than.
Yeah.
Because what's the name of the company that make animated? It's the same one as Fate Zero.
Studio Dean. No, it's not.
They're actually a pretty good studio. I think the first Fate's the best Fate.
Yeah.
Fate
Stay Night, yeah. Maybe we'll do a review on the whole Fate series at some point. But yeah, I think Demon Slayers. It's weird because people say it's a historical anime, and I can see that. It is very historically accurate. But like, it obviously starts off with Nezuko becoming a demon. That's not a spoiler. It's like the first episode.
Yeah.
And then he goes to be trained to become a demon slayer. To find a cure for her. I don't know why he killed demons to find a cure for his sister.
That seemed like it seemed like it was kind of like a crutch to get the plot moving forward.
Yeah, and then the whole thing is just Tangerine.
Sinjin of a costume.
Yeah. He just like fights the villains, and then he's like, "Oh no, I'm losing." New breathing technique.
Yeah.
I'm losing. New breathing technique. Oh no, he's losing. New breathing technique. It's the similar thing with Dragon Ball. It's just a new form win, hand them the win thing.
The fights are quite flashy, but you can't really tell what's going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like they kind of overdo it a bit. I think they look too good. And it kind of takes away from the rest of the anime.
I think it's because they obviously cut budgets with the animation. Like it's not really cutting edge, is it? It's
kind of like
quite. I think they use quite.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, an old sort of style. It's hard to keep track of the fights because there's no clean animation.
Yeah.
And I remember watching the most recent season. I won't say anything that's that much of a spoiler, but. There's a bit, so how all they have their own breathing techniques and they can only use one breathing form, and Tanjiro's is like the water one, and then he can do the sun breathing or something because his dad did it, or I don't know what that plot line is, but then randomly he pulls out the ginger dude's lightning breathing at some point. He's like, oh no, I'm not going to make it in time. Lightning breathing. And he just like, I'm like, that defeats the point. What's the point? If you can do all forms of breathing, why do you not just do all of them and then just win? It's just dumb that you can just do whatever breathing it needs to fit the plot. So I don't like it. It's a bit more of a Dragon Ball. Here's the form and win. You think it's worse than One Piece?
I think it was One Piece, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what? I can see that. People will say it was like the new big 3, but...
Yeah, I feel like the fan base also makes it quite bad because they're always overhyping it. I feel like it gets your hopes up for no reason.
Yeah, and people are saying, oh, it's not a good first anime to watch because of how good the animation and stuff is. And I'm like, no.
No, I think that's
only
anime.
what people would say if they watched it as their first anime.
Yeah.
Because they've not seen any others, so they don't know that it's better. Anyway, that's our thing. Here's the list of order of what we scored them in.
Yeah.
If you've got any queries, you're just wrong because this is the definitive list. If you've got your opinions, leave them in the comments. We'll potentially do a review.
Or pretend that we can.
Yeah, frankly, you can't tell me that isn't completely accurate. But yeah, that sums it up. If you give us a like, and we'll do a part 2 with more like popular animes and stuff like that. Yeah, that's it. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
クキちゃん、実はね。
俺はロリコンなんだ。
Hey people.
Well, we can't do that yet. I'm not stopped recording on this. man.
Why?
Hello everyone. Stop. You beat the audio, you have to start again now.
I'm.
Yeah.
I'm testing mine.
I don't. It gets both of them.